The Chronicle story. Late in the last millennium, after a number of years of struggling unsuccessfully to get conventional Christmas cards bought, addressed, stamped, and mailed in the busy holiday season, the Gardners converted to Christmas greetings delivered via email. Then, a few years later, the Gardner Christmas Chronicles went online. Since the humble beginning in 1997, they've evolved to be chronicles of the family's year's events, each in some sort of rhyme and meter. Now in their 25th year, the Gardner Christmas Chronicles continue to please us, and I'm hopeful you too. Welcome to the Gardner Christmas Chronicles 2021. This year's chronicle is dedicated to Pinky, Marilee's constant hydrating companion and sometimes evil breaker of bones. And now, the Ballad of Pinky Gardner. A year ago, we thought the world was finally on the mend, and we could go out safely, being maskless once again. But pandemics have a way, it seems, of morphing as they please, to keep one step ahead of us in spreading their disease. So far, we've been successful in remaining COVID-free, but even though we've moved about so conscientiously, there are fragments of our story that I really must admit. We had some health adventures that I'll get to in a bit. Mimo has good reasons to be conscious of her state and aware of how her body needs to constantly hydrate. She found a water bottle she could carry and proclaimed it needed a cute moniker, and Pinky thus was named. My mom and dad have notched another year of marriage bliss. They tied the knot in 45 and treasure every kiss. Mom turned 95 this year, and Dad is 98, determined through another year that heaven has to wait. In March, our house main breaker failed without the slightest arc. On Sunday night, without a light, we sat here in the dark. Without the web, we found an electrician at that hour who jury-rigged a breaker for our temporary power. In spring, we drove 1,000 miles to have a week away with Lauren, Warren, Graham, and Gus, and Karen back in May. We had 6 days of COVID-safe vacation rules therein, of wearing masks when going out, and meals delivered in. The Pinky story took a turn one day down by the beach, with Mimo basking on a lounge and Pinky within reach. She left me with a simple job to gather all our stuff and bring it all up to our room, a task that's not too tough. But all the things I brought back up did not include that vial. Poor Pinky got abandoned, she informed me after a while. I went back in the dark and did a search around the place, but came up short and prepped for Mimo's wrath I'd have to face. She was, of course, quite gentle, but was clear in reprimand. With Pinky gone, she lost her means of water close at hand. A sleepless night was followed by a happy turnaround, with Pinky's hostage rescue from the hotel lost and found. When COVID started winding down a bit in later June, Mimo went to dinner with a friend one afternoon. She came home but mishandled things while coming in the door, dropped Pinky on her toe, and went down screaming on the floor. She landed on her back and had both feet up in the air while showing off her shapely legs and toe in disrepair. She got some x-rays later when the screaming had been shushed. The big toe showed her proximal phalanx had been crushed. So Pinky was the culprit, but the fault was surely mine. For when I rescued Pinky, I thought I was doing fine. But had it disappeared for good, it never would have made the trip back home to cause that lovely toe to be all splayed. Our grandson Graham lights up our life and recently turned 2. And every time we see him, it's amazing how he grew. We caravanned with Mike and Laurie, hours on the road, to haul the Klopfer treasure for his used toy overload. Thanksgiving didn't turn out quite the way that we had planned, with Mimo in the hospital with crisis close at hand. 9 days of tests and several doctors probing all around resulted in frustrations when the cause could not be found. But Warren, Lauren, Gus, and Karen chipped in for the feat that Mimo planned so carefully before her blood retreat. She tried in vain to get away in time to join the feast, but could not get her hemoglobin up to be released. I'm looking at the twilight of my roundabout career of 9 diverse employers spanning almost 50 years. I'll cut ties to the last one soon in early 22, and then we're free to do most anything we want to do. Mimo wants to travel. Me, I want to stay at home. I'm sure we'll find a compromise for places we can roam. I doubt we'll have a problem keeping busy as we go about our lives together when the age spots start to show. So now that we're in Christmas time and wind up 21, we hope next year that we can just relax and have some fun. We'll take each day to do the things we always plan to do, and wish you health and happiness in 2022. Larry and Marilee, September 11th, 2021, Delafield, Wisconsin. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And now, the 2021 bonus page. Larry, Laurie, Marilee, Lauren, Graham, Warren, and Mike at Warren's Dock on Lake Jarvis in Maplewood, Minnesota. Graham loves to drive the pontoon on the lake. Graham loved the hotel pool in his anti-sun suit. My sister Lana and her friend Dave got to Gardner Road too. Marilee thoroughly enjoyed our Beyond Van Gogh experience. Once again, Mimo did an outstanding job with the plantings this summer. Sometimes the COVID rules are hard to fathom. We could be with Mom, we could be with Dad, but we couldn't be with Mom and Dad together. We got away to a nice Airbnb in Sheboygan in February. And finally, Marilee took me up on my suggestion to make a snowman. Then, to my surprise, she agreed to this photo op. She's a keeper, and obviously, she certainly knows how to pose for a photo better than I do. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Gardners.